Some friendships don't end with a bang. They end with a slow turning away, a missed message, a silence stretched too long, until one day no one reaches across the distance. Not every ending comes with a closure. Sometimes a friendship doesn't break, it just dissolves. One day you might be finishing each other's sentences, the next you hesitate before pressing send, and after that, nothing. No fight, no betrayal, no final word. Just a strange, quiet distance that widens by the week. This is the quiet death of some friendships. Not the dramatic kind, not the betrayal that rips the heart open, but the kind that feels more like grief. Because there was no warning, no moment to say goodbye, no clear line between what was and what isn't. You just stop. You stop checking in, you stop making plans, stop laughing the way you used to, freely and with abandon, as if the world could be held together by inside jokes and late-night confessions. Friendship, the real kind, is rare, because it isn't built on consistency alone, it's built on resonance, on that strange and holy recognition. You see me, I see you, and here nothing is demanded, only given. But resonance doesn't always last, not because either of you failed, but because growth changes the shape of a soul. And sometimes the shapes no longer fit. Sometimes what once felt like kinship starts to feel like obligation. Sometimes you start editing your truth around them, not out of malice, but out of weariness, out of that quiet knowing that the space between you can no longer hold what you've become. And so we drift, not out of cruelty, but because the place we used to meet each other no longer exists. The world tells us this is wrong, that good friends remain forever, that loyalty is measured by duration, that if something mattered once, it should matter always. But this is a myth, a comforting myth, but a damaging one too. Because if you stay too long in a friendship that no longer mirrors who you are, you begin to contort. You begin to betray yourself in subtle ways, laughing at what no longer feels funny, nodding at values you no longer share, pretending the bond is still alive when it's already faded to a memory. And eventually, the body knows, the call goes unanswered, the response feels cold, the connection, once sacred, becomes something to maintain, not something to cultivate. You miss them, but not who they are now. You miss who you were with them, that version of you, that time, that place where you once belonged. But grief is not a summons to return. It's a sign that something once beautiful has now passed. And there's a dignity in letting it die well. There's dignity in not forcing revival, in not demanding explanation, in not turning absence into accusation. Because sometimes there is no conflict, no fault, just a fork in the road and two people who walked together for a time and then didn't. This doesn't mean it wasn't real. It means it was real and now complete. It served, it held, it taught, and now it's done. But most of us aren't taught how to end well. We only know how to cling or how to cut with resentment. So we either pretend nothing's changed, reaching out with that strange, hesitant tone in our voice, filling the silence with performative updates, or we ghost entirely, vanishing without kindness, without ceremony, without the sacred pause that marks a meaningful end, without intentionally severing. But there is another way. To say without demand, thank you for who we were. I don't know how to continue as we are now, but I will always honour what we once shared. To bless the bond as it fades, to speak truth into the soft death so it doesn't become shame. Because some friendships are not meant to last a lifetime, they're meant to teach us something, to walk beside us for a chapter, to remind us who we were in a moment when we needed to be seen. You're not wrong for outgrowing someone. You're not cruel for needing space. You're not heartless for severing. And they are not evil for not coming with you. It simply means the story has turned its page, and this character, beloved as they were, doesn't walk through this next door with you. It can hurt, of course it can, but not everything that hurts is a wound. Sometimes it's a shedding, and beneath the skin, a truer life awaits you. Let them go, not in bitterness, but with gratitude. Let the friendship die with grace, so your heart stays open to what and who comes next. Some bonds aren't broken, they're simply completed. Welcome to The Architect Speaks.